long time since we've had an evening together like this.
Oh, about a month. Easy, King. Don't pull my arm off.
3 weeks and 4 days, to be exact.
Oh, I miss these walks with you, Dad.
Don't kid your old man. I remember how it was with your mother and me before we were married. When's Bob due back from vacation?
In the morning.
Truly.
Beautiful dog you got, Jack. One down and 2 to go. Think about it, pal.
Chicago was having a bad case of jitters over a rash of hit-and-run shootings, and we were working overtime trying to nail the mad gunman. My name's Frank Ballinger, Detective Lieutenant, M Squad, a special detail of the Chicago Police.
Oh, Frank. Another hit-and-run shooting.
Oh?
This time it's a dog.
A dog?
A dog. Will you come in?
Sure.
This is Lieutenant Ballinger, Miss Willis. Will you tell him about the dog, please?
How do you do?
My father and I were walking King, my dog, when this man, Thule, I think his name is, just drove up and shot King.
Thule, is that a first name or a last name?
I don't know. My father called him Thule or something like that. I want him caught.
Well, if your father knows this man, why didn't he come down here with you?
He's home. He just sits there staring. When I ask him who the man is, he just shakes his head. Almost.
This man, Thule, dog without a reason?
He said something to my father. 1 down, 2 to go. And he looked as if he were enjoying it all.
Description doesn't fit the others we have, Frank, but it could be the same man. Maybe you better have a talk with their father, huh?
Good idea. Miss Willis? On the way to the Willis apartment, Carol gave me some of the details about her father and herself. They'd had a lot of bad luck. Her mother died several years ago, and then Carol lived with an aunt while her father was away on the road as a salesman. After 10 months, he lost his job and came back. They started to build a new life together, but it wasn't easy. Finally, her father got a steady job. Carol worked too. Things seemed to be going well. Then last night's incident in the park. You're certain that you never saw this man before or heard your father mention his name?
No, never. I thought I knew all Dad's friends, at least since we came to Chicago.
Oh, where'd you come from?
San Francisco, about 6 years ago. Dad! Dad! Dad, where are you? He's not here.
Well, you say your father works at the main branch of the library. Is it possible that he'd be there at this hour?
No, I'm sure he wouldn't.
Maybe this can explain it.
It's addressed to Dad. It must have come just a short time ago.
1 down, 2 to go. Signed, Thule. At least there's no doubt about the name now.
First King, then this telegram, now Dad not being here. Lieutenant Ballinger, I'm frightened. Oh, Dad, where have you been? I've been worried half to death about you.
Just walking.
Oh, Dad, this is Lieutenant Ballinger. He's from the police department.
How do you do?
Oh, well, I suppose Carol's told you all about it. Somebody shot our dog.
Somebody. Carol said that you called the man by name.
Oh, no. I just said something, a shout of surprise, I guess.
Well, what about him calling you Jack?
You know how people do that. Call everybody Jack, like Bud or Buster, you know.
Well, just a coincidence.
Yes.
What about this telegram signed Thule? Your daughter said that's the name you call the man. Was that just another coincidence?
I guess so. I don't know how else you'd explain it.
Don't you?
No, I don't. Now, Lieutenant, it's very late, and both Carol and I have jobs.
Mr. Willis, what kind of a father are you? First somebody kills your dog and then threatens your daughter's life and yours. And all you can say is it's late and you are tired.
I don't know what you're talking about,
Yes, you
Lieutenant.
do.
Do you have some charge against me?
No?
Then would you mind leaving us alone, please?
All right. But I hope the next time I see you, that it's not because one of you has been killed.
He didn't threaten me. He didn't. It could be this man who's shooting at people on the street.
I'm sorry, Miss Willis. He doesn't send telegrams. The next morning, we got a break in the hit-and-run shooting, and I asked Carol to meet me in M Squad.
No. No, that isn't the man.
Okay, take him downstairs. He was identified this morning by 5 witnesses as the hit-and-run killer. So I guess that one we can't pin on Tooley.
No, he isn't the man that shot our dog.
You know, we sent out a tracer on the name Tooley to the FBI in San Francisco. We got a reply. A man by the name of Tooley Miller escaped from a California prison 5 weeks ago.
Miller, Tooley Miller. No, the name doesn't mean anything to me.
Well, we're searching our files for a wanted circular on Miller.
But if it is this Tooley Miller, why would he come here? And what could he possibly have against Dad and me?
Miller had quite a record.
You say that you and your father left San Francisco 6 years ago.
Yes?
In quite a hurry.
Well, it was rather sudden.
Tooley Miller was convicted and sentenced for armed robbery and shooting a patrolman in Chicago. That was 6 years ago.
That's the man.
You're positive?
Certain. Oh, what's this all about? Is this the reason Dad wants to leave Chicago?
Carol Willis wasn't the only one who needed some answers. We wanted them too, and wanted them badly. An escaped convict running loose with a gun in his pocket and murder on his mind was like having a bomb with a lit fuse hidden somewhere in the city. I went to the main library where Carol's father worked.
Yes. That's the man.
Why does he want to kill you, Mr. Willis?
I'll handle this.
Oh? Where did you know him?
In San Francisco. But I won't talk about it. I can't. Carol mustn't know.
Mr. Willis, we're trying to help you. This man is a threat to you and Carol and everybody in Chicago.
Nothing's going to happen to her. I'll take her away. She'll be all right.
You can't run away forever. I understand that Carol is engaged to marry her boss, a chap by the name of, what is it, Bob Haskell? Maybe I better talk to him.
Leave him out of this. He has nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with what, Mr. Willis? What's the matter? Are you afraid that he might find out too much about his future father-in-law?
Yes, just that. But she'll be safe.
Whatever it is, Mr. Willis, you can't kick it under the rug forever. Okay? Jack Willis was so confused by worry and fear that he couldn't think straight. But there wasn't much I could do about it until I found out what he was so anxious to hide. When I got back to M Squad, the captain was sending a wire to the San Francisco Police Department asking for a rundown on Tooley Miller. We had no request for protection for Carol and her father, but we decided to put a stake out on them. The killing of their dog warranted that action.
Thank you, darling.
See you at 7.
Oh, make it 7:15. It'll take me a little while to shower and change and make myself pretty for you.
Okay, but you be ready.
Oh, I will.
Carol, look out! Tell your father about it. Tell him I'll be back.
Who was that, Carol? He could have killed you. And what was that he said about your father?
I don't know. I don't know.
I told you I can't talk about him.
We've wired San Francisco for a complete rundown on Miller.
Good. Then you can tell me all about him. Carol. Carol, are you all right?
Somebody just tried to run her down.
It was deliberate.
And they said something about you. Said to tell you about it.
Who is he? I don't know, Bob.
Did you get the license number?
No, I was thinking of Carol.
This is Mr. Ballinger. He's a friend.
I'll call the police.
I'll take care of that.
I think Carol ought to lie down for a while. She's had quite a shock.
Come on, darling.
It's all right, Bob. I'll take care of her. I think you'd better go.
Go? Why?
Well, Mr. Ballinger and I have some personal business. It's all right, Bob. I'll take care of her.
What's going on here?
Oh, please, Bob.
But I
Do
just-
as he says, please.
Okay. I'll call you later. It's all right, baby. It's all right.
I just can't take any more of this. Oh, what is it, Dad? What are you trying to hide?
Carol, I'm going to have to ask you to go away for a little while.
Why? What for?
Carol, would you mind waiting in the other room a few minutes? I'd like to talk to your father.
All right. Oh, Dad, whatever it is, we just can't go on like this.
Mr. Willis, you've done time. But what's important right now is Miller's threat to you and Carol.
I don't want this to come out. Bob would never marry her.
Then he's not the right guy for her. Well, come on, let's have the story. You met Miller in prison, the 10 months that you were supposed to be out on the road as a salesman.
All right. You found that out. I did 10 months on a 1 to 5 for grand larceny, and I was guilty.
Keep your voice down.
$100. I didn't have the money to pay my wife's hospital bill. I took a chance and I lost. You don't know what that means to a man who'd been honest all his life.
The first offense?
Yeah.
Then why didn't you get probation?
I was identified as a wanted man. I admitted one theft, and the witnesses thought I was guilty of all the others.
And Carol never found out?
My family was kept out of it. Carol never knew.
So you met Thule Miller in prison. What happened?
I stopped him from killing a man. He was going to knife one of the other prisoners. I named him. He was sent to solitary. He swore he'd get me. My parole came while he was still in the hole.
I know the type. Why didn't you tell us this sooner?
Police don't help ex-convicts.
Why don't they?
We're not entitled to protection.
Oh, come on, Willis. You've been listening to too much stir talk. You got the same break that the next man gets. Look, you made a mistake. You've done your time. Now the book is closed on that.
They don't think that way. I've got a record now.
Oh, stop torturing yourself. You're not the habitual criminal type. Now let's concentrate on nailing Miller.
I don't want Carol to know about me.
At police headquarters, immediate steps were taken to find Thule Miller. Every patrolman on the beat or in a squad car was given the man's description. Every plainclothesman was alerted. At M Squad, special teams were sent out to contact hotels and rooming houses. We put Miller's description on radio and TV, hoping that someone would spot him and call us. We had to end the threat of death to Jack Willis and his daughter quickly. The fact that Willis was an ex-convict was not revealed, even to these teams. Hours later, we were still working in the dark. It was the old story of trying to find a needle in a haystack. One man in a city of 4 million people.
Woman on the north side tried to identify her husband as Miller. Once him put away.
Yeah, did you read this report on Jack Willis from the San Francisco police?
I glanced at it before you grabbed it.
They think now that he's entitled to a probation on first offense.
Well, he was only guilty of the charge he pleaded to. He had a lot of courage, though, going up against an old-timer like Miller.
See what the doctor said? Considers Miller to be a dangerous psychopath. Should be institutionalized on release.
Well, that's the way it goes. He escapes, and now he's our headache. You better go home and get some sleep, Frank.
That's a good idea.
Captain Gray. Yeah, this is M Squad. Who? Oh, the man in charge of the Willis case? Yeah, just a second. Oh, Frank. Phone.
Who is it? Lieutenant Ballinger speaking. What can I do for you?
I hear you're looking for me, copper. Get smart. Stay out of my way. No cop can stop me.
Well, what makes you so sure, Miller? We handle your kind every day.
Not this time, copper. Not this time. First, I'm going to fix the girl. Then I'm going to get Willis. And I'm going to make him hurt. Hurt all the way.
Come on, you're just kidding yourself, Miller. You're not going to hurt anybody. We're going to have you in a matter of hours.
Go on, be a joker. Very funny. Well, you don't even have time to trace his call. Stay out of my way, copper. Next time I won't miss.
Miller? Miller! Well,
Not enough time, Frank. He's probably in a booth.
you should have heard the hate in his voice. He could be very dangerous. One lead. All we need is one lead.
Frank, we're doing everything we can.
Yeah? What? We watched Willis and his daughter around the clock. We even had a man living in their apartment. I followed the girl home from work. We can't take any more risks with this man at large, so I'm going to have to ask you both to stay home from work. Because if he started throwing lead around, somebody else could get hurt. Besides, we can protect you better here.
You stay home, Carol. It'll be safer for you.
All right, Bob.
What I don't understand, Mr. Willis, is why this man wants to kill you.
He's just a dangerous psychopath. It could happen to anybody. Well, good night now, and remember, don't go out.
All right, whatever you say. We're in your hands.
Lieutenant, I don't know what to do. Do you suppose it'd help if I told them about me?
When Miller's caught, he's going to talk. You're going to have to face that.
Yes. But she thinks I'm such a great guy. So does Bob. What would you do?
Why don't we just let it sit for a while?
Well, I guess I'd have told him the same thing. Miller could leave town, get run over, or wake up hating somebody else.
I don't think Willis is that lucky.
Gray speaking. Are you sure? Well, if he's our man, we'll pick him up. You better get on this, Frank. Woman phoned Central, said a man looking like Miller rented a room from her yesterday. She recognized him as picture in the papers.
Where does she live?
Crystal Street. Say, it's the same block the Willis house is on.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Get in the truck. Move. Who is it? Grocery order from Charlie's Market.
It's all right. He comes every day now.
Carol.
Get an ambulance, quick, on the phone. Carol, are you all right?
Yes.
I want to search the roof. Miller got away. Now we had to take a chance. The man thought he'd killed Carol. He might move fast to get at her father. He'd look for him on the job at the main library. Willis agreed to bait the trap. We had no idea how Miller would enter the library, but we isolated the section near the stacks where Willis worked, closed it to all readers and employees.
Bob and the policeman die.
Mr. Willis, the doctors at the hospital say that they won't.
But I'm responsible for the shooting.
No, you're not.
I just seem to draw trouble like a magnet. Well, I won't let it happen again.
Yeah. You sure? Okay, keep looking and seal off the exits. Right. They think that they heard somebody down in the cellar, but they're not sure. Mr. Willis, you better go up to your office now and stay there. Miller was dead, and with him died Jack Willis's secret. The detective Tully had shot recovered, as did Bob, Carol's fiancé. We all went to the wedding.